Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13, and he has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings, and then I paint the rest. I have been saying for years that we work on his fine motor skills by doing a hand over hand method, but he has started doing more of them kind of on his own. He still does it in his kind of way. He does a lot of circular motions, and then we kind of go back and work on them together, but he definitely does so much more now than he used to. I'm making a hot air balloon. That would be kind of fun. To do something a little different. So we'll see. We'll see how all this goes. I am happy. My boy slept until basically 6 a.m., which was very exciting to me. He was happy about it. He mentioned it, and very much commented that he had slept late. He's starting to kind of grasp time. It's such a wild ride in my mind how to even think through it or explain it or deal with it. He knows the calendar so well, but yet hardly ever looks at the calendar. I know they do more when he's in school, but all summer he hardly really looked at the calendar. Yet he knew dates and things like that. So it's such a wild ride to me that he oh, I got frogs in my throat. He can sit there and tell me dates and things of when he does things, or when dates and days that something is happening, and it baffles my mind that he can get dates right that are ahead of time. It's mind-boggling how much he knows, and I can't even. And tonight he was talking about a lady I think it was a lady, it's been so long ago. We had to wait because she wouldn't go. Like, she was at a four-way stop and she wouldn't go. And I couldn't go around her, and all, the cars were all like waiting to see what she was doing. Oh boy. Okay, it's gotta go away. Oh. Okay. That was a lovely frog. But she wouldn't go. And this literally is weeks or a month ago at least. I'm not even sure when it was truly happening. And he was talking about it last night, or between the frog and my brain, we're like not working all well together. He told me tonight that we could not go at the stop sign, and at first it took me a little while to figure out because that was like a month ago, and the only reason I really knew what he was talking about because he started repeating like the same things he was talking about them, and just the way he was saying it, like, it finally dawned on me that he meant that instant, that time. And so it just completely ooh, I don't know what got me, boggles my mind that he can remember like all these time frames. So it just I'm always amazed at his memory and how he handles things, and it's wild. So anyways, for a child that doesn't know exact, like, he's starting to kind of read the clock, but it's still like not there. So it just amazes me how he does things. His brain is he's definitely interesting to try to even like keep up with, like, to in the sense of guessing or knowing what he's talking about, because he changes gears so incredibly fast when he's talking about things. And so you think you're on XYZ, and he has already gone full circle and is on something completely different. So it's one wild ride. It's oh, I've never been up in a hot air balloon. Oh, that was a lot thicker than I wanted, but I guess that one's the closer one, so we'll just go with it. I've never been up in a hot air balloon, and I'm torn as to whether I ever really want to go up in a hot air balloon. I love watching them. I love, when I lived in Texas, there was a festival that always had, like, right near me, like, you could see. Okay, now I'm really getting them too thick, but can't turn back the clock now. Wish I had an eraser. But there would be hundreds of them behind my house. And it was just, I loved every minute of that. I just thought that was so incredibly cool. So I wish, sometimes I wish I could go up in one, but then I'm like, I don't know that I really want to. I have been in a small plane, flew a small plane. I was at a little airport, like a mom and pop airport, basically, and the owner, I had been standing there talking to the owner of the place, and his son was up flying with someone else, and I said I've never been in a small plane like that, and he was talking to me about different things, and I never imagined any of this would happen. And when his son landed, he the owner, the father, started talking about what, all the numbers were with the plane. And before I could even refuse in any way, shape, or form, I was up in this little, like Cessna kind of, I think that's the right term, two-seater, I can't remember. I think it was four-seater, actually. And it was, a trainer. Not that I don't think that makes too much of a difference with planes, not like a car trainer, or but he had me up in this plane, and he was showing me all around the town, because you get through it pretty quick. And I flew the plane. He let go of all this stuff and had to, obviously, he was right there, but he told me everything to do, and it was quite the interesting little jaunt. But I've always kind of wanted to go back and do it again, but I haven't. So maybe one day. And I know this is not true, but I actually kind of feel safer, or as safe, in a little plane that one time I was up in the plane, because I feel like you could jump out of the plane. And I know. Okay, so I'm making this rounder than I really wanted it to be. Not round, but more oval. I wanted it the shape I had it, but oh well. See, when you start making, I'm trying to fix the line, and I just kept making it too wide. And it doesn't have to be straight because, it's in the air, it's not straight. Anyways, so one day maybe I will fly in a plane like that again. I a lot of times will wear the same. I put on a smock or a cover, every night. And sometimes I'll wear the same one while I'm painting. Well, tonight I changed, and because I had so much paint on the other one, I wore this one, and this is kind of like the, ooh, I hit the camera, the bell sleeve thing, and that's probably not the wisest one to actually be painting in, because in case I touch something, but you know, it's okay. So the only thing I have left is I wanted to do some kind of clouds. I need to get my medium mediums out where they help make paint thicker and different things like that. You add it, depending on the kind, you either add it to it or you add the paint in it. It just depends on the brand, the kind, the stuff. But I haven't done anything like that in quite some time, so I need to do that. I should have put the clouds down, so I had one kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this without making it look like maybe that looks like a cloud. I have like the thickest white paint ever right now. That's what made me think about the medium. I need to add some water to it or some other base in it, because I mean it is, I usually put a lot of paint on my paintbrush, but this is like, it's probably very hard to see on there, but it is probably one of the thickest that's ever come out of the bottle. And every time I go to say I shook it up, I'm like, it's shooken. It's shook, it's shake, it's shook. I have a problem with S's to begin with. And so when I say anything like that that has multiple ways to say a word, you know, it goes all through my head like that. Shook, shake, shook, shake, shake, shook. Ugh, it's silliness. Pure. I knew I touched the purple. I knew I touched the purple. Pure silliness coming out of the brain. And I'm quite tired to boot, so. We're almost there. I can't think that I've ever done one of these before, but I have been painting every day for years, so I may not. I probably don't remember. I don't have Owen's memory. I used to have a great memory, but then my thyroid decided that it did not like my memories, so it ate them all. Ate them. Okay, I'm gonna just do. I don't know if anybody heard me, but I whispered that. I said, I'm just gonna do. And I whispered because I was just gonna do a tiny little one. And I guess I felt as though I should whisper. This probably was not the brush that I should have been using for this adventure. But, you know. So, voila. Voila. Do O for Owen. L. And B. There we go. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.